Here it is, everybody. Ethereum putting in some bearish divergence on the daily chart, a massive indicator for altcoins. Does not matter if you hold Ethereum or not, but we have the higher high on Ethereum price, a lower high on the momentum oscillator. There is some room for downside. I don't even want to waste time. I want to start with a clip. This was from 5 days ago. Very quickly, just check this out. The move that's happening, it is not the end. It is the beginning of a massive breakout on the macro. Check this out. It could be sideways, choppy for a while, fake out, pump to the upside, put some bearish divergence, back down into the apex, pulling into this 20-week moving average slowly. It doesn't have to hit exact, but that move is so in play right now. And the way in which the market manipulators have been just liquidating longs, then liquidating shorts back and forth, I think this is very much in play, and I want to be wrong. I want to be so wrong about that. Okay. I still could be wrong. If we see Ethereum break out right now, I could be wrong. But this bearish divergence that I discussed is playing out. We have resistance. We got this swing high. At the time of that video, we were $3,600. We got this swing high up here, as you can see. And now I think that the manipulation is already starting to kind of make its way into markets. So I'm going to dissect the short term. I think it's very important for altcoins, what's happening on the Ethereum chart. Again, maybe I will be wrong. Maybe we'll wake up tomorrow morning and I'm completely wrong. But I want to start on the weekly. I really want to kind of discuss what is going on right now on the macro. Hit the subscribe, hit the like on the way in. And if you're not in our intelligence system with our risk models, our exit planners, we've implemented a 7-day free trial. I know I'm talking about it a lot. We have a ton of people getting in, trying us out, and starting to strategize for this cycle. It will be very important when things start moving. So here's the weekly. Here's what's happening. Mysterious institution again bought $212 million of ETH. They've accumulated 946,600,000 Ethereum last week. Mega whales are buying unprecedented amounts of ETH. This is interesting because this is one of many indicators, but I posted this in June. Record amounts of ETH have been scooped up by whales recently, while ETF approval odds for other altcoins remain high heading into summer. This was June 17th. Just kind of trying to focus on what are the whales doing? What is smart money doing? And if we go actually just look at Ethereum around that time, June 17th, Ethereum was around $2,500. We're almost $2,000 higher from that moment. And the sentiment at that moment was absolutely terrible. And we even dipped further. And this is something that's in play right now, a dip, as we've been discussing. We're going to talk about this in the short term. But what I really want to draw to your attention on the weekly, and it is kind of a question, why is Ethereum important for altcoins, even if you don't hold Ethereum? If you look at last cycle, Ethereum started breaking out towards all-time highs, right? In like December 2020, the end of December, it was really, really leading altcoins in this massive move. And then altcoins eventually kind of caught up to Ethereum, and many, if not most altcoins, outperformed Ethereum in terms of gains. But Ethereum led the move. This is the number 2 crypto. I think Ethereum is going to lead the move again. That's why it's so important to pay attention. And Ethereum might break out weeks prior to some of your favorite altcoins out there. But if Ethereum breaks out, it could be an incredible leading indicator for just the altcoin market as a whole. But thinking of this, December 26, 2020, that move, this is kind of where we are. And if you look at even the momentum oscillator on Ethereum when it was making that move, that week, right? That end of December week, it's just such a big move towards all-time high, not even breaking all-time high yet. Look what was happening. The RSI was topping out and overbought, and it still had a ton of bull market left. Look at where the RSI is right now on Ethereum. Are you kidding me? And then what I noticed was this. In that week, the end of December 2020, I went and looked at the risk model in our intelligence system. Look what Ethereum was at around December 26, a 56. Right now, we're at a 57. And what I'm evaluating right now for Ethereum is a break out of that area, but a break through the 60s. If we start seeing Ethereum in our intelligence system start breaking through the 60s, we will have a very similar risk score kind of taking place that happened 2 cycles ago in 2017, breaking through the 60s into the parabolic move. Last cycle, December into January, breaking through the 60s into the parabolic move. And then this cycle, we've already seen resistance. I forget exactly where, but maybe right back here in March 2024, we hit 60. resistance back down. We almost hit 60 again back here in like December, resistance back down. Right now, we're just below 60. If we get a break above 60, and this is kind of cool, like you can use our planner, our risk models and our exit planners to plan exits, to set your sells, but it becomes kind of fun to work it into analysis. And the 60 area, and I should say, as it starts moving through these 60s into 70, that could be a massive bull indicator for Ethereum, especially as we're monitoring the charts on Ethereum on the weekly. Because here's what's going on. There is an insane amount, and I want to break down the structure that is taking place right now. We have this massive triangle we've been talking about, right? But if we start dissecting more kind of all of the other structure that's going on besides that multi-year triangle that extends, by the way, to last cycle, we have two patterns that I'm incredibly curious of right now, mainly because of this analysis that I did the other day, talking about another higher high and watching the bearish, or watching the momentum with that move. And that's what's happening right now. We're watching the momentum and its bearish divergence. But there's two patterns that are making this interesting. Number one is, and I should mention, this is the speculative one I've been talking about, this inverse head and shoulders potentially coming into play. And when I did this video the other day, 5 days ago, and I was saying, I think there's a potential Ethereum could go higher, and then market makers, exchanges, they're just going to manipulate price and bring us back down. This isn't absolutely going to happen yet. I want to be wrong still. I want the breakout. But if it were to happen, and we enter this, again, an altcoin consolidation, we might have in play this right shoulder that I've been discussing. And I don't know exactly where it would go down to. We'd really want to see support at like 30 down to $3,200. It's a 50-day moving average, anywhere between that area and the 20-day at 3,800. But maybe Ethereum just kind of pulls back down into that area and we have a small right shoulder setup, but an inverse head and shoulder setup potentially in play. But the other thing that plays into, if I am wrong and Ethereum doesn't actually put in this swing high bearish divergence back down, is this. We have this broadening wedge, and I saw this on a post on X. I really should have brought it up to show it, but it's a broadening wedge, and you can just see kind of that neckline move that we're tracking for the speculative inverse head and shoulders. This is already a pattern, right? So that's this trend line here, just broadening wedge, and really this target into the $7,000. Some might have it up to maybe $8,000. But the $7,000 target is interesting to me because it's right in that range of a 1618 higher high Fibonacci as well. So this next move for Ethereum, if we get the breakout, if we don't have any more dipping, any more manipulation, bringing price back down for just more consolidation and more altcoin holders getting frustrated. But if Ethereum actually starts breaking out and we actually start getting this kind of 2020 move in December, and we're just cruising to the upside towards all-time high, this is very possible for Ethereum. If it starts happening, this next range I'm targeting for Ethereum is very simply this 1618 area, which is this previous swing high to swing low, and it's this higher high area, so that's right around 5,800, to that target that we just talked about out of that wedge, which is around, I'm just calling it $7,000. So if we're looking at that now, that's the next swing high for Ethereum. That's not a bull market high. So what happens at that area? Is there, a dip? Is there resistance? How does it get there? How fast does it get there? What's the price action doing, right? Because we can get big dips, and to really get a sense of what this could look like, it's always good to go back on charts and just look at some of the volatility as we're approaching all-time high last cycle. Massive, if I can just zoom in so you can see this a little bit. Look at that red wick right there on that red weekly candle. Ton of like volatility down to $937 and then up here to 1,200. Big red candle here. So like there could be a lot of volatility in play if Ethereum starts escaping into this zone. But that's my target. That's kind of that next move for Ethereum, is like that 5,800 to around, no, I'm sorry, I'm on the wrong chart here, but it is around 5,700 to around $7,000. So that's what I'm watching. I'm not here to predict. The other day I threw out there what I think is going to happen, and that's just because we've been documenting and talking a lot about all of the manipulation. And when I really just think about it and I look at the pattern for Ethereum that's happening right now, all of the excitement, all of the technical analysis, videos like this, it seems like every time there's a lot of content and context at a certain price, they just start messing with it. It really does seem like that. So that's why I'm anticipating anything, and that includes downside. So if we get downside, I'm not turning bearish. I'm watching for support areas we discussed. And if we get upside, again, as I mentioned the other day, the area that I'm watching to break is like, I'm talking like not even that crazy, 4,400. We start breaking above $4,500 and start closing daily candles, I think we might start seeing kind of this more game on scenario. But as you know, as I've documented the other day, I'm really waiting to see how this price action plays out for Ethereum. So it's going to be exciting to watch. Either way, I'm trying to be patient. It's crazy to see altcoins, they start moving, everybody gets excited, and then they just get, hit right back down. So those are my thoughts today, everybody. Wanted to break down some analysis on Ethereum. I think it's great context right now, what's going on in markets for altcoins especially. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like. And if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. This thing, in my view, is just getting started. And I'm just excited to continue creating content. If you want to check out our risk models that we have back here, we have a ton. You can see altcoin market cap sitting at 26. If you want to start planning your exits and having a strategy for the cycle so that we're not round tripping the bull market into the next bear market, check us out. Free trial right now. Appreciate you watching. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.